May you find happiness and peace, and may your home stand the test of time.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary. Today I'll be reacting to Kirk destroy Socialist student. So without further ado, let's get started.
Hi, I'm a UVM student. I was talking to you before. I'm sure you noticed that. But I'm going to try to keep this civil.
Heckling, yes.
Yeah. But I'm just going to hope you respond in a way that's not so just conservative talking point and more of a conversation way. Hopefully. Maybe?
Sure.
Okay. So before there was a question about like Native American communities and treaties and stuff like that. And you were talking about how historically Native Americans have been kind of like screwed over by the US government and stuff like that. Don't you think that that history will impact how Native Americans live today and make it more difficult to succeed in America? Don't you think that would influence that?
Well, I suppose a question I'll ask back at you, we've made tremendous accommodations, such as sovereignty of Native American land, entire department of the federal government dedicated just solely to that. Do you recognize that there's been great efforts to try to accommodate that?
I recognize those efforts, but obviously they haven't worked.
So why haven't they worked?
Because it's either not enough or the way that we're doing it is, like, we need to treat it more as an equity thing instead of just saying, oh, it's a culture, like, instead of blaming it on people's, like, individual working and, like, change it societally and help them in a way that actually matters.
So you do know that there's universal health care at Native American reservations, right?
Yeah, but it's not very good because they don't have access to...
Because it's socialistic.
No. They have universal health care in plenty of European countries, and it works just fine. The flaws of the Native American...
So I'm curious, how did Vermont's experiment in universal health care go?
I'm not from Vermont, so I don't know these things.
I didn't hear your response. Say that again.
I'm not from Vermont, so I don't know these things. I moved here like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I still can't hear what you said. Say it one more time. You're wearing a mask. It's kind of hard. Can you say it again?
I moved here like 2 months ago. I'm not from Vermont, so I don't know these things.
Right. So Vermont tried single payer. They had to abolish it. It was a total disaster. So look, I think the best way to help Native American communities is to help all people through empowerment and education. Instead, we tried a heavy-handed government approach of intervention of the Bureau of Native American Affairs, of universal health care. And if you want to go see a socialist dystopia, go to a Native American reservation. Maybe you have. Maybe you worked on Native American reservations before. I've been to plenty. They're depressing. They're government addicted, unfortunately, in more ways than one. They're very, very corrupt. And this is something I want to ask you. Would you self-identify as a socialist? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Ish.
I'm not a liberal. I'm more social. I'm
okay.
Socialist and liberal are different words, and I think conservatives confuse that a lot. They're completely different things. Okay. Okay.
No, we don't. So I'm just curious, as someone who would say you're a socialist, what would be a country you think works well that's a socialist country?
There are no socialist countries right now.
There are no has there ever been a socialist country?
Truly socialist? No.
Okay. So your worldview is on something that's never existed and currently doesn't exist?
Is it a bad thing to be like pro change? Like people who lived in like only monarchies wanted democracy and stuff like that. That wasn't like a bad thing.
Okay, so just so we're clear, yeah, the type of change you're advocating is horrifying. But so it's never existed, doesn't, and so I would say Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea, formerly Vietnam, the Soviet Union. Those are not and were not socialist countries.
The disastrous effects in those countries were directly contributed by U.S. intervention. There were multiple coups done by the CIA in those countries.
So let's take. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's take. I'm just curious. And so, how on earth did Fidel Castro taking over Cuba have anything to do with U.S. intervention?
There was plenty of like sanctions. Like economically, Cuba was completely cut off. There was no. They tried to assassinate him plenty of times. There were so many things.
The fact that they're communist.
Yeah.
We had what to do with that?
We didn't have anything to do with that. But after a communist regime took over, they had a.
Yeah. So let me ask you another. So first of all, Zimbabwe was not communist.
Burkina Faso. Thomas Sankara.
Say that again?
Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso. Before he was assassinated, he was actually
How about Mugabe? He wasn't a communist? How about Joseph Stalin? He wasn't a communist?
Called himself
How
a
about
communist.
Mao Zedong? He wasn't a communist?
Yeah.
Pol Pot?
Plenty of terrible people have called themselves plenty of different names. North Korea,
Oh, so you get to be the
North Korea
judge.
calls
Got
themselves
it. Okay.
democratic. They're not democratic.
Right. So I just want to make sure we complete the point. You believe in something that doesn't exist, has never existed, and even though the people that call themselves the things that you believe, you say they weren't really that, which is the most important point. Socialism is always judged against an impossible utopia, and they judge markets against a reality. And here's the truth of the matter. That markets, which you enjoy comfortably in Western society, is the most proven affluent creating machine in human history. And I would just challenge you to do one thing. Please stop believing in a utopian nightmare and start looking at things around you that are good, that are true, that are beautiful, that work, and are consistent with the natural law. You'll be a much happier person if you do that. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it.
Wow, I love this. I've been hearing this utopia thing, and I don't know if utopia really existed or it's just a myth. But I think what Charlie said is live in the reality, live in what is happening now. You can't say you support an ideology, and the people that are currently supporting the ideology, you feel like they are not doing a good job, because it feels like you have the way you want things to be run in your mind, but you are not in support of those people practicing your ideology. It's like me saying I'm a Christian, okay? I believe in God, or I believe in Jesus, and I'm saying that the way Christianity is being run is not right, okay? We have different denominations, we have different doctrine, we have different way of serving God, or different churches have opened, and they all claim they are Christian. So you can't tell me, like, from how many millions of churches are around, I don't see anyone that fits my belief. To me, I feel, either I am the problem or I'm not searching enough, because she says she's a socialist and there are several countries practicing socialist, practicing socialist, and you have not picked anyone and say, okay, I think this is the country that I feel like is doing a good job when it comes to socialist. Then it shows that what you believe in is seriously not working. If there are several people who are practicing it, but still you can't pick point one and say this is the kind of country I feel like America should be like. And also in the beginning part of the video, she made mention of the Native Americans, and I feel like this life, when you decide to help, is a good thing, but when everyone rely on you to keep on helping, keep on providing, you end up not growing, because everyone will be taking from you what you need to grow yourself. They will all be taking it from you because they feel like they rely on you. But you can help out, okay? You can give out free healthcare. You can reduce their taxes and all. But that does not mean you should provide everything they need. If not, they will feel lazy to provide for themselves. That is how it works. If you give birth to let's say 2 children, and you allow one to fend for himself, you provide for the second one. You will notice that the one you allow to fend for yourself will be more independent, because you've shown him that even if you are not around, he or she can provide for himself. But the one you provide for, that one will be so dependent on you that even when you stop providing, they will feel you are wicked for not providing for them. That is how the world works. So if you are helping someone, you don't fully help the person. You give the person a means to help themselves. You try to reduce their taxes, try to make life a little bit easy for them so that they can stand on their feet. You don't spoon feed them, okay? You make them, see reason why they can fend for themselves, or they should fend for themselves. And I think that is what Charlie is trying to say right here. And I believe, I wish she could take off her face mask so that I would see the person behind the mask. I know, okay, this is the lady, because, she has a whole lot of points, but I don't agree with her views. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. It is the first time visiting the channel. Click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and remember this.